Hey, it's Aaron. Today I have a question from Richard. Richard wants to know, there's only been, well, he starts with a statement saying there's only been two major revolutions in automotive manufacturing. One was the Model T, the other was Toyota's superior production approach. Will EVs be the third revolution? Well, assuming the premise is correct, that there have only been two revolutions in automotive manufacturing, I would debate that premise, but we'll assume that it's correct. If that is correct, EVs do not fit this definition of a revolution. In fact, they're doing the opposite. And let me explain that. So Ford and Toyota, both of them had the same type of revolution. Both of them brought superior manufacturing methods, faster, better, more efficient manufacturing. So those were both manufacturing changes, not vehicle revolutions, right? It was revolutions in how the vehicles are made. To that point, electric vehicles are actually doing the opposite. They're actually making it more complicated to build a vehicle, not less complicated. So that is not a revolution using that definition that was given here, Richard. So because of that, I would say no, they are not. However, if you're looking at overall revolutions in the industry, which there have been many, then you have to go beyond just Ford's production process, the moving assembly line, and Toyota's faster, better, and more emphasis on QA stuff. You have to go past that, and you have to look at how engines have changed, how chassis has changed, safety systems that have just completely changed how we drive vehicles. Lots of those things. There have been many, many revolutions. And if you use that as your definition, if you're looking at overall revolutions in not just the production approach, but also the vehicles themselves, then yes, EVs become one of those revolutions. There we go. So to go back to manufacturing though, using Richard's definition, probably the technology most likely to revolutionize automotive production will be 3D printing. And the reason I say that is because right now 3D printing is used for a handful of parts to go with vehicles, but mostly is used in design. And that's because 3D printing is relatively slow for now. That's changing. We're seeing 3D printing not just with plastics, but also with metals. And it's getting better and better and faster. And once it reaches the point where it becomes faster than some of the casting and other processes used currently, then 3D printing will replace them naturally. So we're going to see sometime in the relatively near future, we're going to see 3D printing as a major revolution in automotive manufacturing. So that would fit the bill far better than an EV would, using your definition, Richard. So hopefully this answers the question. It's a difficult one just because there was such a requirement at the beginning, such a preamble there, that had to either be accepted or rejected to start with, which is common in a lot of questions that I see where people make an assumption and then ask a question based on that. Sometimes the assumption is just not right. And so that's nothing against the person. If you're not in this industry, if you don't spend all your time looking at it, studying it, and following it, you're not going to know these things. So if you have a question, there's no such thing as a dumb one. So if you have a question, hit me up. You can find me in the comments down below. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, etc. Just make sure that you tag or IM or DM, and I will try to answer your question. If I can, if it's a good enough question, I think a lot of people would want to know the answer, I'll do a video. So there you go. This has been Aaron. Talk to you again soon.